All right, and welcome to the interview with TEA players. We have Piplup here and Bpots, both players from TEA. I'm pretty sure Bpots you started as a sub, and now you're in the starting ADC position.
Yeah, I just started as a sub. I played a few games here and there for a few different roles, and then they tilted their AD carry and they left. So then there was a spot for me, and I joined.
Valid and Ashes are Piplup, and you've been playing like every role for TEA. I'm pretty sure this season.
Yeah, number one fill player.
But impressive because going into first place, unfortunately, no tiebreaker to be played.
Little unfortunate.
but
I wonder why.
same smile. Uh,
Hmm.
now you guys now have a game against Evergarden actually in a couple days. Um, how are you guys feeling before the match? Are you guys pumped for it? Are you guys just gonna try to roll them 3-0, or how do you guys expect the game to go?
Well,
Uh,
I
do you want
think that Evergarden is a better team than Apes, so it's going to be a little bit harder than it would have been. But I think we can win. But they looked really good against Apes, but I can't tell if that's because Apes are really bad or Evergarden is really good.
Valid
That's just
take.
my take.
to?
How about
We
you,
we
B
played them. We played them once in the regular season and we lost. I can't remember if the game was like close or not, but I remember it was on the week when I played like really bad. So like obviously I think they're like pretty solid, but I think that if I play better and like we're on form with our team, I think we can win.
Yeah, Evergarden, I think, especially probably not this season because this season they've been a little weaker, but some of their members are pretty consistent, is what I will give them. Uh,
Hmm.
and whenever they're on their day, they're one of the scariest teams, as shown in the power rankings at the very least preseason. Which, speaking about that, in power rankings, you guys weren't ranked as high as you guys ended up. Do you guys let power rankings and such determine, like, as a form of motivation, or do you guys like don't care about them at all?
With power rankings, I think it's just like I don't let them like affect me unless it's like based on stats because then you get teams with like huge ego just based on like a prediction basically.
Hmm? How about you,
Hmm.
B Pots?
I don't really I don't really care too much about power rankings. I think obviously if like people think that I'm like bad, that gives me like a chip on my shoulder that I sort of do think about and sort of does motivate me to play. But the biggest thing is that I kind of like sort of see through power rankings because I know that at most a lot of them are just determined by like looking at like post game screenshots and things like that. So your final scoreline at the end may not accurately reflect how you play. And so I think that in that sense it's like nothing to get really worked up over, but I think it certainly adds a bit of like a fun spice to the mix if you can like beat someone that was higher ranked than you or like someone who made the list who thought you were bad.
Yeah, definitely. I also feel like when it comes to like power rankings, you can determine the value of a player on the rift, but off the rift, they can also be like super. They could be like the one pulling the strings, and their
Hmm.
performance might not
Yeah.
view it. So there's
Yeah, no,
definitely
for
a
sure.
lot of hidden factors, I think.
There's too
Uh,
many variables I think to accurately like be able to objectively rank players against each other.
yeah, true. But that being said, uh, do you guys think you guys are undisputed the best team in the league? Do you think there's another team that compares, or do you think it's just something where whoever shows up on a certain day, then they're just better?
Um, I think a lot of the teams in playoffs are like better than us, but like we just have synergy, I guess, so we can like actually pull out the win.
Mm.
Yeah, that's sort of the way like I see it as well. Is like there may be some teams that have like more individually skilled players than us, but I think there's a reason that our team finished in first place, and so I think that a lot of the onus is on us to be playing to our personal potentials. And I think if we're able to do that, then I'm confident in our abilities, and I think that we'll be able to do well in playoffs.
Hmm. So, you guys have suffered not that many losses throughout the season, but uh, how do you guys basically remain focused and like motivated during like these like crunching losses or even ones that you guys were like, fuck, if we were maybe just a little bit more focused or even just a little quicker on our rotations, the game could have gone in our favor. Like, for example, the one game that, as you guys know, Titan brings up every time, every chance he gets, a
Oh my
10K
god.
gold lead loss game.
Well, with those types of games, we just find a certain player on our team to flame, and then we flame the shit out of them. And then we go on to the next week.
Yeah, I didn't personally play in that game, so I don't know how that specific game feels. My personal mentality has been like we're in like the latter half of the split, and the standings at that point are like sort of defined. And so I think I don't want to like sound like I'm coping or whatever, but like if we just like drop a game here or there, I feel like we're still in playoffs, and if we still like perform to our potential in playoffs, like a loss here or there in the regular season like won't really matter, if that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, of course, it's playoffs is where it all matters, right?
Hmm.
Especially since it's in a span of like, well, for you guys and for TLO as well, it's five. We just start off with 5 games,
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
which mentally straining in my opinion. I don't know how you guys feel about best of fives.
The
I
thing
think
is, oh,
Mhm.
I was just gonna say I think it's gonna be a bit weird because we actually haven't played a series in like 2 weeks for us because there was like the off week and then like the tiebreaker week that we didn't play.
Mhm.
So like I think it's gonna be weird just like coming back as a team after like 2 or 3 weeks and then like hopping straight into a BO5. That's like the thing that I'm interested to see how it'll play out. But I'm used to BO5s.
Mhm. How about you,
the,
Ashes?
the thing is, I'm more worried about if we even like drop a game, because I don't know if you noticed, but every week we lost, it was an 0-2 week. It wasn't just 1-1. It's always been either 2-0 or 0-2.
Mhm. So, would you guys say you guys are more of a momentum team, or do you guys like take, or is it more like one game at a time?
Uh, I personally think of one game as a time, but if the first game like during those 0-2 weeks is really tilting, then the whole team's like mental kind of goes down. We're not playing our best, which is what I think leads to those.
Mhm.
But I don't think it's that too big of an issue as long as we don't have too many like as long as we don't have too big of a loss where it just tilts the whole team out.
Mhm. Uh, do you guys have mostly like a main shot caller, or is it more like everyone in the team says, "Hey, maybe we should do this," and then everyone else agrees, or how does that dynamic work for you guys?
It's kind of like that, but a lot of the times it's me and Jeremy making calls and then just seeing what the rest of the team does around that. Like
Jeremy
we'll
is
go, oh hey,
gave me a
let's
cup, right?
yeah. We'll go like, oh let's go Nash here, and then might say, oh let me push this wave real quick, and then we go as five,
Mhm.
like stuff like that. It's like one person brings up the main shot call, and then the team like has to respond to it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think it's standard like among teams for like jungles and supports to be calling like a lot of the macro decisions, but a lot of the micro decisions generally come from like the damage in our fights, whether that be me or Webb or Drew Bagel Bobbert, whoever's got the most resources and whoever can output the most damage, I think is the one that generally directs like team fights specifically.
Yeah, Jew Bagel Bobber, one of the most hotter cold players, I think, in the league.
It depends on whether he's drunk or not. If he's drunk, he plays well.
Or if Jeremy tilts him during the week. Because like we'll just be playing normals, and Jeremy will say, "Oh, look, you're inting," and then Jew Bagel Bob will just go, "All right, guess who's getting inted on Friday?" Or or something along the lines of, "I'm gonna be drinking Friday night."
I
you
think there
know?
was a game. I think there was a game we played like our last regular season week where I think he like muted for like 20 minutes in the middle of the
He
game.
did he did mute and deafen halfway through the game.
Jesus Christ.
I think we still won though, so
We did win,
we won.
And
but
isn't that what matters?
Yeah.
yeah. But then we were worried about us getting in trouble because he was deafened in the call during the game. So Jeremy had to keep like spam DMing him while doing his clear to undeafen so we don't get like in trouble.
I think
Because
at
he did
first
leave the call at one point
I
too.
think
Oh,
he
yeah.
disconnected from the call and then
And then
Jeremy
he
had to
deafened.
message him and say, "Yo, you need to be in the call. Just mute deafen if you don't want to listen to us."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is. You have to be in the call because
Hmm.
I'm not sure how exactly it was, but there has been like cases of like just account sharing and stuff like that. So I don't know.
'Cause-
I'm definitely the type of person to be better safe than sorry.
Yeah, because it was like halfway during like when he left, I look at my top left where my Discord overlay is, and I don't see his picture pop up, and I'm like, oh, he's just muted. So my next recall, I alt tabbed to the Discord, and he just fucking left.
Jesus Christ. But I mean, tilt happens. I feel like tilt is definitely a huge factor when it comes to league specifically. Uh, so knowing how to control your tilt is actually so huge, especially in competitive. But that being said, I feel like there's a certain amount of pressure, be it from your own expectations, being from your team's expectations, or being from the owner of your org's expectations when it comes to being the first seed, being this being most of you guys' first time on duo. I'm pretty sure, not the orgs, but like you guys as players.
Our yeah,
Yeah.
So, how do you guys like basically handle the pressure of being like the number one team in a league that you guys just entered in?
I surely wasn't expecting it, and I don't think Jeremy was either, because he said I had to like prove myself to play on a team with him because I'm not a good player, like when it comes to solo queue. But I kept telling him I was like, fucking comp, I do well, I do well. And he's like, nah, no, no, you have to play a split with a real team, because like I would play in like Mickey Mouse leagues with like random teams with no one he's ever heard of. So I finally did it and meta shift, and he was like, okay, I'll get you. Because I've been like begging him to play on a team with him.
I feel that that's literally me with Manu. I've been begging that guy to play goddamn competitive for like 4 years now.
For me, I know like obviously like come playoffs there's like a lot more expectations, but like there's a reason why we're the top team in the league, and I think that as long as we just stick to how we play and what we do, like there should be no reason why a team beats us. And so I think having that like reassuring thought is a lot better than having a lot of pressure on you, because like when you're second place, third place, fourth place, like there's always that thought in the back of your mind is like, why did we finish worse than these guys in the regular season? And so I think, at least for me personally, I think that having the confidence of being the first seed is something that can help remediate the pressure that comes with the high expectations.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, when people think of like the strongest teams in duo at least this split in the BSG, it's TA and TLO, right? Like Evergarden
Mhm.
is was up there at the first couple weeks, but then they fell off because of the uh weird 0 wins 5 losses or something like that out of nowhere. And Gotcha was always up there, but with the recruitment of like, or with the dropping their mid laner as a sub, the Dark Sovereign. Uh, they do look a bit weaker than what we remember them, but who even knows? They still are the third seed.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I definitely think you guys as a team, at the very least, you guys talked about team strengths. That you guys might not be the best individual players in the league, but you guys work together well enough that it compensates for any lack that you guys have individually. Which
Mm-hmm.
realistically, it's the whole point of IBSG competitive, right? Because realistically, we're all like very piss low players, as much as we would like to think not. Uh, so yeah, no, like realistically, you guys came in, you guys crushed it, and hopefully we see you guys in the finals.
I have a,
I also
I have
like
a
know myself as well. Like I haven't been playing good at all. I've been playing terribly, and we've still managed to win games and be first seed. So I'm thinking about like if I actually like start playing better in playoffs as well, like how much better we'll be, and so that's like also reassuring as well.
Mm,
I have a quick question, Lyric. Is this
yeah,
supposed to be on stream?
no,
Oh, okay,
this
okay,
is uh, this is going on the YouTube channel.
okay, okay.
Yeah. It would have been very awkward to to be
Yeah.
midway and like not have
Well,
anything
no,
cut.
because Jeremy was looking for a stream.
Yeah, no. It's gonna be posted on YouTube. Hopefully before Friday is
Okay.
what I've been told for even for the interviews that were already made, like the ATS and Evergarden one, which are very interesting as well.
Oh my god, you're doing all? Are you doing all four teams?
Yeah, all teams in playoffs are getting
Oh
their
my
interview.
god.
uh, yeah, straight after this, I have Gotcha Gamers to interview. So,
Okay.
but yeah, basically it's gonna work like that. But at the current moment, let's focus on ours.
Yeah.
uh, so you know, losing a member is, even if it is the weakest link, it is uh hard to swallow almost because it is someone that you've been practicing for weeks on end. How did your team react when you guys lost not Jackie Love or Jackie?
There's a lot of cheering, like hype around it. I'm not even kidding. But it was like a little strange because like he cut off like all communication with everyone. Like just didn't let us know what was happening. Like we looked in Jeremy's server and he was just fucking gone.
And what all had happened? Was it literally after the Platinum Below interview? He was like, "Yeah, no, I'm done. See ya."
He said it wasn't that. He said I was getting an ego for flaming him when I'm like lower ranked than him.
Oh, that argument, gotta love it, huh?
Yeah. But I was just saying that I wasn't even the first one that brought that up. Everyone else was saying it, but it was just me. It was me that scared him off. He wasn't happy with my ego.
Shit
It wasn't
happens, I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't Bobbert going on stream saying, "Oh yeah, he's the worst, most awful player I think I've ever seen." It was me just telling him to right click more.
you know, Honestly, right clicking's a little hard. Smile.
It's true. There's a reason I play support in jungle now instead of AD carry.
How about you, B Pots? How did you react to basically being like, "Oh, I guess I'm the starter now"?
Well, to be quite honest, I wasn't really like involved with the team. Like I would show up for like a game or two if they needed me to play, but I was never really like I never was really like active in their chats or like looking at what was actually going on. So then I just got a DM out of nowhere from Jeremy. He's like, "Yo, are you busy Friday nights?" And I'm like, "No, not really." He goes, "Oh, do you want to be the starter?" Jackie left. And I'm like, "Okay, like, sure, why not?"
And then
So I guess I was happy about it.
yeah, and then you started dropping all the takes on general chat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Honestly,
I don't know.
can you start flaming the people in general chat now that you're on like it's gonna be recorded for like proof?
What do you
I
mean by that?
I mean, you did have. I think it was Jeremy actually, or Give Me a Cup that had this scuffle as were gonna call it with Titan Duff in general chat.
Oh my, that guy's weird. I don't know. I don't even remember what happened, but he brings up a game of Udyr dancing under tower and us losing a 10k gold lead. I don't really remember it because I think it was like the second week, so like a couple months ago. And he still brings it up. It's a little weird.
I don't
There's
even.
yeah.
I was gonna say I don't really care about Titan Duff. Like his team's kind of shit. They're gonna get rolled by
Oh,
you guys on
shit.
Friday. Like he's bringing up. We'll be like in finals. We'll be playing against finals, and then like right when the game's about to start, he'll like bring up the week 2 Udyr game.
The 10 can go behind special.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Val- I mean, hopefully it's still a good series on Friday from both sides. Like Gacha is still, even though they might not seem like it at the moment, they are a team with a lot of old players in the league. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. That's why you guys are racing to play them, right?
you know, it was it was strategic. We wanted to either make the Evergarden narrative or the TEA narrative for the finals.
For sure.
Yeah. It's narratives. But that being said, what do you guys think of the league so far? Duo Esports, it being your guys' first season playing as players in this league.
I personally think it's been fine. Like the thing about okay, because here's the thing. Like when you would have to join like 5 minutes early or 10 minutes early,
Mm-hmm.
when Jeremy would DM me, be there like 6:50 EST. I'm like, okay, and he's like, that's you have to be there that time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if my league client's not open, I have a shit PC, so like sometimes I'll be like, oh shit, I'm not gonna get in the lobby in time, and we're gonna lose bans. That's my one gripe with it.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else has been fine. The players mostly have been fine, except Funny Dude from Abe's. He's kind of weird, just a strange little creature.
he's a funny dude.
I I mean, yeah, I guess it depends on your definition of funny. Because like I laugh when I see it, but it's like out of cringe, not out of like, oh, he made a really good joke.
you know,
Like calling people in the same league as him lows is a little strange.
I mean, he
I
is
mean,
looking for a
yeah.
team, so.
I mean, if he's calling people lows, he might get log checked, right? But that would require him to have good performance to get log checked, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he was voted the worst support in the league as as memeable
I
as
mean,
that is.
and then he said bunch of low randoms putting me in last place support for playoffs, and then his team got last place in playoffs. So I don't know if it was really too far fetched, and he didn't really perform either of the games.
you know, he they tried their best. A
Yeah,
lot of a lot of build problems, I think, in that game. If you guys saw it.
most of the players have been pretty good though.
He went 1-7 and then 0-11. He's like
I-
actually a griefer.
Look, check his ADC score line, by the way.
6-1, 3-4. Yeah, no, he's like his team scores aren't even that bad, but he's just like 1-7.
It's like unironically like playing with like B pots.
Yeah, it's like me.
Yeah,
Except I
when
know I'm better.
Except I bet you in their call he was just flaming the shit out of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
B pots won't do that. B pots will flame himself, which is good.
B-Pots will
Yeah.
be like, God damn it, why the fuck did I do that?
Yeah, at least B pots doesn't get an ego about it. He's like, oh, they're just camping me, these fucking weirdos. You guys need to start ganking bot more.
I don't say that.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
You don't make yourself the victim, is what I'm saying.
B-Pots is about to get defensive right there.
Yeah, he takes accountability for him fucking up, which at least is good.
I will find it. I do find it weird how like they're still attracted to like diving me and shit when I'm like 0-6. Like, congrats, you just wasted all your shit down
it's
here.
the ADC effect.
You got like
Yeah.
25 gold. Congratulations.
It's the ADC effect. That's literally how I feel in solo queue. I'll look up, my top laner will be like 10-0, and then you'll see them gank me, and I'm like 0-5, and I'm like, why? What are you gaining from this?
I've like stopped playing AD carry in solo queue. I think I've played like every role besides AD in solo
It's
queue.
I,
painful right now.
I haven't played a lot of AD carry, but I know the one game B Pots was unavailable, so we had to get Soul Keeper to play support and me to play AD carry.
Mm.
And thank God I no life to Sivir for so long.
Yeah, it was pretty. Your server was pretty good.
I
Goddamn,
mean,
Web sort of rolled us in that game.
yeah, Webb has been stepping up a lot recently. Like I'll look at the match reports and he'll be like 12-1, and I'm like, I didn't even realize this was happening. I didn't even realize he was this fed. I was like, oh yeah, he's fed enough to where he won't like just get one shot, but I wasn't sure of when he got fed enough to just one shot the whole enemy team.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure Cirrus said that he was the second best mid laner, I believe, in the league.
I would
Sir-
hope behind me.
you know, your Seraphine week 1 went a little crazy.
It's kind of free when you all I have to do is play a support champion mid lane,
Just buff
which
up
is
the
what I've
team.
been doing. But playing, I think I played Annie and then I played Swain too.
God damn it.
So none of those true mid laners like Web plays, like none of the Akalis, none of the Anivias.
Anivia is such an annoying champion. God damn.
It's
But
annoying for Web too because he hates playing it. Jeremy will be in draft and he'll just go, "We just pick Anivia here, no?" And Web's like, "No, give me a Akali, give me something fun."
I
I feel
feel that.
bad, but we win so much with Anivia.
Yeah, that was me last season, literally getting locked into just Sivir Jinx the entire season. I have never felt true pain since that.
Well, at
But
least Jinx has the reset mechanic, which makes her a little fun.
yeah, but Sivir's kind of painful to play over and over again. But
I would say so. That is personal experience before her rework.
but yeah, tomorrow or not tomorrow, what am I saying? Friday is your guys' game versus Evergarden. How are you guys preparing to face off against the formerly ranked first place team midweek into or mid season into the second to last place in playoffs position team?
I think they're not our biggest threat in playoffs. I think the biggest threat is going to be whoever comes out of the TLO Gotcha Gamers series, which is obviously going to be TLO, because if both teams were racing to forfeit to play against that team, I think it says a little bit of something. If it was a strategic FF, right?
Yeah.
It was strategic forfeit. Just giving up your first seed so you could play against who I guess is the worst team. See, I didn't see it like that. I would have rather played the tiebreaker and seen who was actually first place and second place.
You
But
know,
I get the competitive advantages of being able to identify which team you can play better against.
you
So it's just
know,
better to forfeit.
from our side in TLO, it was like, okay, guys, so we can play the tiebreaker or we can get a 2 week vacation. And half of my team was like, let's go 2 week vacation.
That is that was also pretty nice. Not having to have my Friday afternoon occupied with the tiebreaker.
Yeah, pretty
Because
valid.
like either way, we both got a 1 week vacation because we were seeded in the second round of playoffs anyways.
Hmm.
So like it didn't change that much, but having 2 weeks was kind of nice.
I mean, you guys are against gotcha gamers. It's pretty much like a 3 week vacation.
Hopefully. You never know. They might just smurf on us. Shit,
They might do what All
unexpected.
Victory does and just out of nowhere become really good. I was surprised with the All Victory thing.
Yeah, I will say
'Cause
they were one of the most surprising comebacks.
And it was like so but it was way too late. They needed to do that like mid-season if they wanted a chance at playoffs.
Hmm.
Because I think so far those last 2 weeks have been the toughest with all victories, like comeback era.
Mhm.
But it was just too little, too late.
Yeah, no, their pickup of Inero and their other ADC who I forgot exactly their name, but those are like huge for them. They actually
They
took games off of everyone. That was like huge.
they were starting to like if the circumstances were different, they could have made a playoff run. If they had done it like a week or two sooner, they could have easily made playoffs.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm glad they didn't because they were really rough to play against those
Mhm.
last 2 weeks. I'm not gonna lie.
So now to before we get into the fun call out and shout out moments, let's talk about player rankings.
Oh
Ooh.
God, this is gonna
So
suck.
so you guys know where you're ranked. The last rank for playoffs came out, I believe, last week. Uh,
Mhm.
who do you guys think is overrated? Who do you guys think is underrated? And who do you think is even fairly rated, like perfectly fine where they're at?
Let me go find the list. There we go. Overrated, definitely funny dude, and Fuel Bands and Bobbert. Honestly,
Funny in C tier.
yeah.
Okay, this
B
guy's
Potts, B
delusional.
Potts, B Potts is at least C tier because he's not that terrible.
Okay, wait, when did this come out? This came out like a week ago.
Yeah.
Webb easily underrated. Webb needs to go to S tier. I'm sorry.
Wait, why does it say 1.7 KDA? What the fuck?
Because you have a 1.7 KDA.
Yep.
Like total?
Yeah.
There's no
HRN
way.
HRN should be higher.
Mhm.
Honestly, I've played against him. I think he should at least be A tier.
Mhm.
What the fuck? There's no way.
And for the rest of playoffs, I think everyone's pretty fairly rated. Like I don't super play like top lane, so I don't really know how to rate the top laners. Like I can't tell. Like I mean, obviously I can see if Jubei Bob is getting shit on top lane,
Gapped.
but that doesn't mean they're good. That just means he's bad, in my
Mhm.
opinion. Yeah, I think everyone in C tier they should move down. All of C tier should just swap with B pots, in my opinion.
Okay, wait. Where can I see the stats? Like, there's no way I have a 1.7 KDA.
You can check them if you go to. I think it's the stats page on literally on the Discord on the top bracket.
Game stats?
Maybe I don't
Because it's
exactly
not.
remember. I know that the 1.7 KDA comes from you dying like 11 times in that one game versus Evergarden.
I do remember B pots saying they're tripping if they don't put him in A tier though.
Yeah. Wait. Like, even that game where I had like 11 deaths, like I still had like a over 1 KDA. And then
uh,
like all my other games, like my Evergarden game, I had a KDA of 1, and then the last week I was 8, 8, and 10, so that's like 18 over 8, like 2.25, and then the
Okay,
last
but
week
B
I had a
pots,
13 over 3.
you're
That's not
talking
1.7.
you're talking to the wrong person for
yeah.
stats.
This guy's just gaslighting everyone to think I have a shit KDA.
W gaslighting moment.
W gaslighting moment, honestly. But what are your thoughts overall though? Still on the player ratings? You think anyone's overrated, underrated?
Uh, Funny dude is overrated. He should go into like Q tier.
Cute.
Um,
We're just making tiers now.
Yeah, no, like so far down, it's not even funny. Um, Grant Jubegel Bobbert is like pretty good. I've seen him. I've only seen him in the second half this season, but I think he's been pretty solid. He's like more solid than a C tier. I think he'll have
Mhm.
like pop off games, and then he'll have like pretty
Yeah, that's
average games.
that's the thing is he'll either int or he'll like hard shit on someone.
Yeah,
But
which
like
you know.
even in our last
But
week, he's like 2-2, like 7-5.
It always goes with it goes with consistency as well. It's
I think the thing is he's really unhappy with being in C tier, and he wants to be moved down there.
Mm-hmm.
valid. I mean, there's one last thing to prove himself.
That's true. He should int harder to get D tier. You should start taking like some hints from B pots on how to get D tier.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
How are you the only D tier player, by the way, B
Dude,
pots?
I think he's just doing it to fuck with me. Like,
Well, you did ego in general chat saying if they don't put me in A tier, they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
but let's keep going with the last part. Any call outs, shout outs for your team that you guys have? It can be anyone, preferably playoff players, because you'll be hella punching down if you call out Funny Dude at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the only person I would flame in this league, if I'm being honest. Titan
like
Duff,
calling
Titan
us
Duff
lows.
maybe. Titan Duff, it's a little weird that he still brings it up. I don't know if he's mad about it. He just brings it up every time. Every time like Jeremy types in general, there will be. I'll look at the bottom and it says Titan Duff is typing, and I'm like, oh no, here we go.
He's like, haha, you lost a week 2 game, 10k gold deficit. Meanwhile, like teams are racing to FF, so they play against you in playoffs. I think that's all that needs to be said.
Valid.
My one shout out I would give is to Webb. I think he's great. He's a great player.
Mhm.
And he really hard carries the games a lot of the time. Even with Jeremy's shenanigans.
Mhm.
That's just my call out.
I'll give my shout out to like Evergarden actually.
Oh, you fucker. You should have given it to me. I put you in my backpack every game.
I mean, it's a given that I really like playing with you, but Evergarden's like chill. I don't know, like none of their players are cringe. I also ate at a restaurant last week called Evergarden, and it was like.
Oh,
really
I thought you were about to say with the players
With
from
the players
Evergarden.
from Evergarden.
No, it was a place called Evergarden. It was really good, and like I think a lot of the playoff teams without like flaming. I guess there's only like 2 teams left, which is like TLO and Gotcha Gamers, and I think TLO's cringe for trying to duck us. We're just like I think we're
like I said, they were not trying to duck us. It was strategic FFing.
2-week
I mean,
vacation.
we're 3-0 against them now. I think it's a finals preview, but
Oh.
and then Gotcha Gamers, nothing needs to be said, and then ATS. I don't really know much about them except they have Funny Dude, but we won't go over that again.
They did get knocked out of playoffs in a very convincing 2-0. And I think it's just honestly not to fault Apes anymore. I've come around to it. I think Evergarden's just really good.
Mm-hmm. By being like completely neutral on like the cringe spectrum, they're like the second least cringe team in the league. So good on you, Evergarden.
Who's the least cringe in the league?
Us probably.
I don't know.
Us with Jackie was cringe, but now we're like not cringe.
I don't know. Vpots, you type a lot in general. Just calling people out.
Okay, maybe I'm cringe, but like you guys aren't cringe.
But I think that's just because you're like a Discord moderator, so it's like it's like built into your blood.
I'm a full-time
Discordian lifestyle.
Yeah.
Nah, but either way, guys. That being said, thank you guys for coming on. This interview hopefully will be posted before everyone's games. If it's after, then it'd be fun to see how it went. How you guys' mental was before the games and how it is after.
Can I say one thing though about Funny Dude?
Sure, go.
Just real quick. He did call me in the middle of the night after I called him out for calling everyone lows after getting 2-0'd. He was like really angry. He was like, to get my mind off this, I'm just gonna go out crinkling. And I'm not too sure what it means. And he just under his breath kept repeating the number 1488. And I would just say that's really weird. And it made me a little nervous, so I blocked him on Discord.
Okay.
because it was like it was at least like 10:30 p.m. EST. He was doing this.
You know, he's a funny dude.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what the term crinkling is. I didn't even want to look it up, and what the 1488 could mean. Anyone's guess is as good as mine is.
All right. But thanks again for coming into the interview. Uh, hopefully everything goes well with y'all's game, and we'll see if we face each other in the finals. That would be fun.
That would be a banger.
All right. Thank you for popping in, guys. This was an interview again with TA, with Piplup or Ashes and Bpots. Playoffs, semifinals gonna be this Friday the 31st. So don't forget to tune in if it's before, hopefully. If not, then what a series it was. So thank you guys
Sure.
again, and see you guys for the interview with Gotcha Gamers.